Hello, everyone. In today's episode, I am really pleased to speak with Sukhjit Singh Ahluwalia. Hi, everyone. I'm Carine Strong. I'm the Executive Director for Volunteer MBC, which stands for Mississauga, Brampton, and Caledon. Today, during our show, I want to get an understanding and provide how people give back to their communities. We have so many community champions that give their time, their contributions, their support to many different organizations across Peel. And we're thrilled to speak with some of those community champions. And today, my guest is Sukhjit Singh Ahluwalia. Sukhjit is a longtime volunteer ambassador. He's the author of Same Shoes, Different Doors that tells his story and learning as an immigrant. In 2018, he was actually the recipient of a Sovereign's Medal for Volunteers from the Governor General of Canada. And he has had so many accomplishments, both in his career and his volunteer efforts throughout the years. So I was wondering, Sukhjit, welcome, first of all. Really appreciate you being here. I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit more about you and your experiences as a volunteer.
Well, first, I will start with saying thanks to you, Carine. And my journey of volunteerism started with Volunteer MBC, with you, and the amazing team you have at Volunteer MBC. I always say my ABC started with Volunteer MBC, and my ABC of my life in Canada as an immigrant also started at the same time when I was learning all the threads of the trade, how to
Right.
survive initially in Canada as an immigrant. In terms of my professional side, I work in nonprofit sector. I work for Achieve. It is a nonprofit organization, and I take pride in working for Achieve. And I manage the one of the office in Brampton. And other than that, I am a volunteer, and I play multiple roles at different committees, boards, and also I never left my role in trenches, which is inspiring other newcomers, be it international student or be it immigrant or be it those who are visiting Canada. And predominantly, given that because I am immigrant and at one point I was a student, my focus is to inspire them, to motivate them, to so that they can contribute in the core Canadian value, which is volunteering.
Right.
And other
Yeah.
than that, I am also a part-time instructor in a community college, and that's briefly about me.
Why do you think that's important for people to hear? And maybe you can link it to ultimately the career that you ended up with in Canada.
So if I take my story as a journey like any other new immigrant, um, I started to volunteer for one reason and only one reason, because I was told things in Canada works differently. So I wanted to actually explore how things works in Canada. There were many options for me to choose, but I chose to be a volunteer because I felt that it is one of the safest way for me to actually explore. And mind you, like when anybody who comes to Canada, they don't know the process of how to become a volunteer. They don't know what
Mhm.
actually it entails, right? So again, credit go to Volunteer MBC, where I was guided step by step in in how I can be a volunteer, what is a process, and what
Right.
are the positions I was interested in. Um, I actually was confused in my early days in Canada because there was a lot of information available, and though I did get help from some individuals and organizations, but onus actually lies on me, on ourselves, like what actually I wanted to do. So
Right.
when I started volunteering, and when I was on this path, I discovered that I want to do entirely different from what my professional background was. So before coming to little bit context, before coming to Canada, I had an IT background. I was teaching in
Yes.
a university, and I was also involved in mostly in the academic environment. But in Canada, you start from scratch, and I thought it would be best for me to choose what I really want to do, and
Right. Mhm.
consciously, unconsciously through volunteer work, I discovered that I want to build my career in nonprofit.
Why do you care? What is it that ultimately motivates you?
Multiple reasons, Corrine. Um, and one of the main reason is I know personally how much I got benefit in terms of learning, in terms of developing my connections, and in terms of also being visible, in terms of also getting recognized. So there are many reasons for me to not only formally support what I say, but this happened to me as an immigrant, as a newcomer in this country, that
Mhm.
through this path, I was able to accomplish so much. A degree or any other higher education will not give you that much of social
Yeah.
knowledge, which I was able to gain through
Yeah.
my volunteer experience, and
Right.
which I
Right.
continue to gain. This professional development is not one time; it's a constant. I kept
Yeah.
evolving, and it is a constant learning. And I started as a frontliner in terms of my volunteer opportunities, like be it staffing a
Right.
table at an event, or be it
Yeah.
at a
Mhm.
food bank, right? But beyond that, when gradually I got opportunity in some leadership by sitting at board or committee, this is where
Yeah.
I saw the real contribution I was able to make. So that's why I'm very
Right.
much convinced, and I always say that I'm not in position to make a case if I don't have a story. I have a story to tell, and that's why I'm very convinced that this is one of the most important component, which still till date people miss big time to think about volunteering and get involved in the community.
Yeah. Yeah. Because don't you feel that through your volunteering, you've been able to, build relationships, build your network, and that you're also benefiting personally, for your own health and well-being. What do you feel about that?
I strongly feel if you see me happy today, it's not only because I'm sitting in this coziness of my own home. Beyond
Right.
that, I'm eternally happy because I know that I'm giving to the community. I'm contributing. I'm spending my time in a meaningful way, and beyond that, not only developing a network, but as a newcomer, you may or you may not have a family. As somebody who never came to Canada, who never visited Canada, you're going to spend your life, right? So
Yeah.
at some
Hmm.
point you're building those connections for many reasons, and again, it all depends on what your need is. But this
Right.
is one of the best way where you build your professional network, and
Yeah.
also, as you mentioned, it's also good for your mental health and also your well-being. And I'm prime
Hmm.
example of that. There is a lot of stress in life, but when you give selflessly, um, for the good cause, there is a full feel good kind of feeling which you get out of it. So very true,
Yeah.
Kareen.
Mhm.
Physically, mentally, you feel sound when you get yourself involved as a volunteer.
Yeah, very true, very true. And then you actually see the impact that you're making. And I know you have mentored so many international students, and the impact that you have been able to make on their lives, that has to make you feel super, super good. What is it that really, really makes it so important?
Multiple reasons, Kareen, and I will be little technical in this. Initially, my start of volunteering was for reason A, But gradually, when I got involved more in the community, you know how things moves in Canada. Because if you look at every municipal, provincial, or federal level, all these committees which are either by nomination or which are working for the betterment of the society, they're all volunteer based. Canada
Right.
is if Canada exists, it is existing because of there is a strong base of volunteers. There are numerous organizations, numerous causes which are run by volunteers only. And
Mm-hmm.
guess what?
Yeah.
Like our food bank will not exist if there is no volunteer to run those
Very
food
true.
banks. And
Very
multiple
true.
other causes, be it food bank, be it a volunteer in the hospital, or be it volunteer at a committee. Which if I live in a beautiful city of Mississauga, so there are many committees which are run by the city for the betterment of the community. So to
Mm-hmm.
me, there are different levels of why you want to volunteer and where you want to contribute. If I am talking to a young adult who is a school going kid, I know better leadership development opportunities you can get through volunteering. Exposure
Right.
to exposure to multiple other avenues can come through volunteering. And you know what? It's again something which will enhance not only your knowledge, not only your social well-being, but it will also tell you how things works in this society. So there are a lot
Mm-hmm.
of reasons. If I start counting, they are endless. I mean, we cannot count on our fingers that how much benefit it can bring when
It's
some
so true.
choose to
Yeah.
volunteer.
I think, what you're saying rings so true. And, where your motivation is coming from, and it's very genuine. And it's really wonderful to hear that from a newcomer perspective as well. And so ultimately, what would you say that your biggest learnings have been from your experience as a volunteer?
Wow, there are a lot of things which I have learned. And if I count roughly, there are some organizations like Volunteer MBC. I sat on the board. I'm still a volunteer ambassador. There are around more than 20 organizations where I have volunteered. And at
Right.
present, there are at least five organizations where I'm currently active. My
Hmm.
biggest learning again is in my career growth, the type of leader I am now, it is because of the direct outcome of wherever I got the opportunity to sit, either
Right.
sharing expertise or getting the knowledge from other experts. Because remember, you are not the only one who is sitting on the table. There are learned people,
Exactly.
there are professionals who
Hmm.
are sitting on the same table. And my biggest learning is how I have shaped myself as a community leader, how that learning came, how to work collaboratively with individuals from different backgrounds. And not only that,
Yeah.
every person I believe is having bundle of ideas and thoughts.
Hmm.
And through volunteering, I have learned how to channelize those ideas for the benefit of community. And I won't remove myself, I hugely got benefited in terms of my recognition. If you see, my room is lit with all these recognitions which I have got. And not only for the sake of award, but this is how I feel that I was able to contribute. And the biggest thing is, not only one way, I was recognized for that contribution, be it at any
Hmm.
level of the government, be it at any level of my role as a volunteer, be it as a frontline, or be it as a board member on a
Right.
table.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
to me, it all depends on what you want to get out of it. And with time, I also see that how it is shaping me every time I get an opportunity to contribute as a volunteer.
Right. Always have this spirit of positivity, and you're funny, and that definitely is evident in the book that you wrote as well. And how you actually look at the whole experience of coming to Canada, and how volunteering obviously played a big role in that, but it's made you the person who you are. but you're also very funny. And while describing this, and I think that's probably been a big contribution, for other people who are maybe down and out, when they do come to you for advice, that you always are able to instill that spirit of positivity, of humor, taking things a little bit lighter, that kind of thing.
I'm very cautious about being funny, but yes, I I know we have only one life, and if I will s- I will don't I won't use the that funny side, because funny side now, because you know me well now, we've been together
Hmm.
from like with I think 13 14 years now. You have seen me in
Yes.
action, you have seen me in those events and all that stuff, right? And in fact, my first gig as a MC was at Volunteer MBC's gala, right?
Right.
See,
Right. Hmm.
real me and role me, these are two things. Real me is I'm also a human. I'm also like anyone else. But it's a very interesting question, and I think I was never asked, like, because not many people know. I have a look, which is I have my turban, I have a beard, I come from a South Asian background. That's my visibility. But you will not know until you know me well that I have a funnier side of life as well, right? So, what I
Right.
have to say here, life is already full of many kind of tensions, whatever is going around, right? So when I say
Hmm.
fun side, it is more of a motivational thing for others to see that,
Right.
if I'm sad and if I'm reaching out to Sukhjit for a suggestion, I definitely uh, can give a positive twist. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a counselor, but again, because I interact with multiple people on daily basis
Right.
who comes from different ethnic backgrounds,
Backgrounds.
and
Hmm.
also
Yeah.
different social backgrounds, and I
Hmm.
also have a very diverse experience. I leverage on that, and that's why sometimes I feel that if you are able to see the fun side of Suchit, and acknowledging that you are able to see that now, right? But
Hmm.
sometimes we are sitting on a table where it is all uptight and it is all very
Yes.
uncomfortable situation for everyone else, and then you bring a person who does not look like anyone else in the room, and definitely, a little bit of humor and little bit of real
Hmm.
life experience. My humor is based on the real
Exactly.
life experience of self
Yes.
and
Hmm.
others. That's how I became a storyteller,
Yeah.
right? Not many people know,
Yes.
by the way,
Hmm.
of my fun side, but thank you for bringing it up. And of course, I leverage on both and make
Yeah.
use of it in a win-win
Yeah.
situation.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing who Sukhjit is, why volunteering is so important to you. I want to thank you for everything that you do for the community, and I hope the audience will feel inspired, especially newcomers that are still fairly new in Canada, to take that journey, to take that volunteer journey, and see where it can lead. So really, really appreciate you joining us today, Sukhjit. Thank you so much for sharing your wealth of knowledge and the time that you give to this beautiful community. Thank you.
Thank you, Green. Thank you for the opportunity. I am very confident that whoever will watch this will get inspired, and I'm very open to connect also. So, once again, thank you for this wonderful
Beautiful.
opportunity, and congratulations, because Volunteer MBC is inspiration for many, and I'm one of them. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We are going to talk about different ways that you can get involved in the community, because there are so many volunteer opportunities, so many organizations at any time of year, but you have all seen how much the need has increased across Peel, and you have a chance to make a difference in the lives of so many people. So let's talk about some of these opportunities. Let's bring in Minera. Hi, Minera. How are you
Hi,
today?
I'm great, Carine. How are you doing?
Good. Good. I'm great. I'm great. How's things going? Are
Things are
you
going
getting close
wonderful.
to, yeah, you're getting close to
Yes,
finishing your holiday shopping?
I am indeed, actually. It's the end of the year and there's so many deals out there. So I have gathered enough toys for the kids. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the aunt of the year this year. I try
Ah,
every year, but
awesome.
then this year is probably the year. This year is the year for me. So yes, I've done a lot of shopping and I've made a few plans. I'm wondering what you are doing for the holidays.
Well, it's getting so close, and I feel like for the first year, I'm so unprepared. I still have so many things to tie up, but getting there. And it's all about having people and family and friends together around this time of year. So for me, that's the most important part. And if things aren't absolutely perfect, that's quite okay. So I'm
Is
wondering what you have to share for us today. What kind of volunteer opportunities do you have?
I have some really good opportunities for those who want to spend some time away from their family and with other people. There's always something for you to do. So I will be starting off with the first opportunity. As you might know, drivers are in high demand. So a lot of our opportunities are for drivers. But then our first opportunity is a shelter movers opportunity. It is in Mississauga, Brampton, and Caledon. So this organization is looking for drivers and movers. So if you're very organized and you like to help people with moving, this is definitely a position for you. Vehicles are provided. So if you don't have a vehicle that works as far as you have a license, you can come through and you can also gain experience because there are trainings and you also get references for long service. So if this is a position for you, please go ahead to our website and look into applying for it. So our next position, which is also a driver's position, is for Vaughan, Canada. This is a position in Mississauga. It is a no contact food delivery position. This is a position that allows you to reach out to people who are in remote areas or who do not have access to warm food, and you can deliver food to them. Also has paid mileage for personal vehicles. It also helps you with um, contributing to a worthy cause because you can help people who are in need. You also enjoy networking, making friends, and meeting new people. So these driver positions are open on our website. And our next position is for a game host. And you can guess the game. It is bingo because who doesn't like bingo? Elder Health Peel is looking for charity bingo coordinators in Brampton. So if you're looking to start off a career in game hosting, this is definitely a position for you. You can learn about the not-for-profit sector, you can make friends, you can meet a lot of people who are interested in bingo and actually learn how to play bingo on the go. Another amazing thing about this position is free fountain drink. You get one free fountain drink for every, bingo assignment that you go on. I mean, what else do you want? Our next position is for senior volunteer visitor. So the Caledon Meals on Wheels is looking for someone who would reach out to different seniors and spend time with them. So this is a very important position because you get to interact with people. It's an in-person position, so you spend a number of minutes or hours with them, make new friends, you learn the best way to engage in social recreation activities with seniors. You also help with just meeting their needs, talking to them, living their life stories, learning, getting wisdom. There's so much that you can gain from this position. And it's a very, very, I would say passionate position for people who want to spend time with, seniors and learn from them. So it's sort of like a mentoring position, but then not officially a mentoring position. The last position that we have is for a board member position. This is a virtual position, and board members tend to be people who have expertise or leadership qualities and they want to share those with organizations. So you get to participate in the decision making of organizations, also share the knowledge that you have, share your network with organizations. It is such a great way to spend your time when you have done a lot of work in the community and you want to share that in such a way that it helps other organizations make their decisions. So the time commitment is about once a month meetings. You meet virtually with your other board members and you get to make new friends, because making new friends is very important, and also just help with organizations and build organizations up. So this is this is a position by Embrave, and they're looking for board members who are interested in participating in their organization. These are all the positions that we have for this episode, and look forward to seeing you again.
I wanted to remind everybody that Volunteer MBC is a registered charity, and we do have the I Care Our Volunteer campaign going on right now. We would really appreciate if you go to our website, leave a comment as to why you care, and if at all you could support us in financially, that would be wonderful. It will help us to make sure that we continue to serve the many organizations that we support and refer volunteers to them, to meaningful volunteer opportunities across PL. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, you will see that you can go to our website at volunteermbc.org/cares. And again, we would really, really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. I can't believe we're already at the end of our show today. I wanted to offer my sincere thanks to our guest today, Sukhjit. Thank you so much for giving your insights into, the person that makes you the volunteer that you are, and give back so much. I really appreciate that. I also wanted to do a huge shout out to our team who are behind the cameras to make all this happen. Really, really appreciate all your efforts to spread the word about our Care, I Volunteer campaign. And just a little reminder, we are looking for support during the season. If you look at the bottom of the screen, again, you can go to our webpage and contribute and or tell us your story. Thank you so much, and I wish everyone very, very happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all the very, very best for the new year.